welcome back to Greenlands, and today we are going to be planting the mega field. Big job ahead of us. We need to lease a fairly chunky planter, so that is going to be the main job for today. Really excited to see how this mega field project turns out, and I really kind of like the name mega field, and I think some of the others of you do as well. Anyway, just getting some animal work done before that, and looks like we've got a half decent price on milk, and I think we have a tanker full of milk to sell. Slightly frustratingly, they seem to get a lot of great demands for milk on here, and I had one crop up after I sell this, and I know some of you commented that you don't seem to be getting many great demands, and I think, thinking back, the only ones that I can think of are the milk great demands that I'm getting on here from the milk sell point, and so I might have to have a look at that, whether there's something different in that sell point, but they really do seem to want lots of milk from us. Still going to get a decent price, and we need to pay for leasing this planter. You'll have seen what it is from the thumbnail, so actually we've got, yeah, the great demand later on was from the built-in milk sell point. The sell everything had a good price. 50 grand is quite nice, so let's go lease this planter. And yes, we're using the 8RX because we're going to be using the John Deere 1775 because it's built to work with this and the Exacta tanks, and that's why I brought this tractor in the config it's in. So yeah, we are going full John Deere big scale planting setup. For most of the things on this map that would be stupid, but for this it's not. What I'm doing now is I'm drawing a custom field in Courseplay so that I can use the field calculator, because that picks up those custom fields, to see how much seed we need. We need about 13,000 litres of seed to plant that big field. Stupidly, I do buy enough. I end up with not quite enough. Spoiler alert. I guess it's because it's a direct planter, and so there's probably some overplanting going on from my slightly ropey driving. The field is pretty much fully fertilized, but I thought it was worth putting a bit of fertilizer in, because we're also going to use this to do the cornfields that we have at the farm, and they do need a little bit of fertilizing, so we'll get that done in one pass. Brought the Arian down with the low loader and then the little Massey 3709 so that we can load the seed up to take it over to the field to keep the planter running. I'm really enjoying using this tractor more than the telehandler. I'm not enjoying this bag lifter. I really struggled with this when I was recording. Normally I'm quite good at using that, but yeah, not so good today. The trick basically is either to lift the bag up far enough or to tilt it back a bit so that it doesn't want to reconnect the first bag, because it seems to prioritize that, which is a bit stupid, and I end up dropping it a few times because I forget to change which I'm attached to. It's great fun, but it is a good bit of kit, and it's a shame that it doesn't let you select the second bag and drop it. It prioritizes the first one. There we go, that's how I've been trying to do it. You will have seen me use this before. I really like it. It's really good. And it's base game. I think it's only base game for front loaders, but there is a modded version that is available for telehandlers, I think. I'm not certain on that, I think. But we are all loaded up, so let's get down to the field and get some corn planted. So we are up at the mega field, and it's time to get planting, get this corn in the ground. Really excited to see, I keep saying it, I'm sorry, I'm really excited to see how much we're going to get off of here. I know I planted 12 to 13,000 litres of seed, so potentially we can work it out, and I may do that, just because it's going to be a while before we get around to chopping this and turning it into silage. But I'm going to stick in a couple of headlands along this end because there's not a lot of room to turn around. And this is a pretty big unit. It's much bigger than I'm used to. That's what she said. And yeah, so I'm going to do a couple of headlands, give ourselves a bit of room to turn around so we don't have to worry about struggling to make the turns. Basically, I'm going to be using a lot of VCA GPS, so if we can use that to get the turns in as well, that will really kind of help. You'll see we've got variable seed rate running. That's on automatic because that's the best way to use it, really. The only reason you might turn that off is if you're playing precision farming, but you're doing some kind of old world play where you don't have the technology. And so you're manually adjusting the seed rate, maybe? I don't know. What I do know is we're covering nearly 35 hectares an hour, which is pretty nuts. I think with our seed drill, we were doing about 16. So yeah, covering a lot of ground. This is one of the biggest planters that I've used. I'm trying to think whether I'm guessing on West Texas I must have used something big like this, but certainly in FS22 I don't think I've used a planter this size before. The biggest I've used is the Kinsey direct drill on Ravenwood, and that was a really nice planter as well. I'm just trying to remember because I'm using that on one of my test saves as well that you guys don't see. So yeah, we used a little bit of fertilizer. I'm guessing that was in one of the corners. We must have missed a bit. As you can see, there's a bit in the corner here where we've missed it with, I guess, the rock picker maybe. Probably, I think we rock picked after we limed. So yeah, don't really need to worry so much about headland this, and we've got lots of space to turn around. It's obviously not all our land, but no one's going to complain. Something we are going to need to tackle, and I'm not sure of the best way of doing it, rolling this field. I've kind of forgotten about that. We might lease or buy, we might lease the really big roll. Actually, we could get the Mendeco. I wonder if we've got enough horsepower for the Mendeco that came out. That would be cool, because I haven't used that yet at all. I'm going to have a look at that. This game day we're focusing on, I've just thought actually, because I've started recording the next video, and I think I skipped all the way through April, so we're not going to roll this. Because I'm a dumbass. Oh well. I guess we'll lose a tiny bit of yield from not rolling the corn. I kind of like that it's going to have kept in the planting texture on the corn, but I'm slightly frustrated that I completely missed the fact that I need to roll this field. And the other two fields of corn that we planted. Oh well. You can see we are hammering through seed. I think at this point we're probably running at 8 times speed on the time lapse, or we were getting lowish on seed. So I am going to pull in at the end of this run. You can see our tillage is going up, which is quite nice because this is a direct drill. So I'm going to fill up with seed at the end of this run. But something with precision farming, and I see it far too often because people, I guess, don't understand. They talk about you have to avoid ploughing with precision farming. You don't. You'll do much better if your crops need ploughing, or if your field needs ploughing, if you plough it. The trick is to direct drill into the ploughed field, because that counts as you having direct drilled. So this field was ploughed because we had to create it. It was limed, it was rock picked, and it's now being direct drilled, and we get the tillage bonus for direct drilling. So yeah, with precision farming you don't have to avoid ploughing. Plough if you need to. You don't have to plough excessively. You're gonna have, and I guess the counter to that is we're not going to get weeds on here, which means we're not going to be able to apply herbicide. Maybe, but maybe we do want to spot spray or try and spot spray. I think there's a trick you can do to get the herbicide bonus, so I need to have a look at that. I had actually planned to do that on my grass fields as well, but basically this morning, which would be Tuesday for me, I was awake really early and I just wanted to play some farm sim, and so I started recording the next video on here, knowing that I wanted to get around to doing first cut. So that's what I focused on. So yeah, we've missed a few opportunities there. It's a nice looking planter, isn't it? Can't remember the model that created it, but yeah. I'm really annoyed with myself now. Oh well, let's try and move on. You can see we are getting through this pretty quickly. We've not really used any of the liquid fertilizer because we'd pre-applied solid fertilizer in the last video, I think it was, using the slightly cheaty Lizard WMXL, which worked really well. Most of our fertilizing is done. In fact, we have, I think it's just the oats, barley and wheat that are going to need fertilizing, so we'll be doing those probably, I want to say June time. I want to do them not too long before harvest. Basically, we'll do an application of liquid fertilizer. It is the plan. Then that way we can test out the crop scanner, which I've not really used yet. So this is kind of really my first run through using precision farming to actually play the game. So I did a whole load of testing. So I'm just playing with the ridge markers. Did a whole load of testing when precision farming came out, and I played on a test save, but none of that was actually properly playing the game. So I'm kind of learning some new stuff as we go, like, you know, grass fields and not getting great environmental scores on those. There is a video out on getting a maximum environmental score on grass fields, and if I remember, I will link it below. It's from a fairly small YouTuber who's done some really cool precision farming testing. I'll try and remember to link that below. You can see our environmental score is up to 62, which is not bad because it's not counting our pH or our fertilizer at the moment, and we've not done any herbicide, so we're not quite going to make it to the end of this run with the seed that's in it. I was going to leave it, but I thought actually that would bug me, so I do end up going and getting some more seed and finishing it off. We're going to need more seed anyway because we've got our own fields to plant, so it seemed sensible. We've got the case with the low loader and the massive loader tractor with us, so yeah. What I'm going to do as well, when we've cleared out the production area, I'm going to move the JCB telly truck back to the store probably. So you can see how close we are. It's so frustrating. So we've got something there all the time. We can then just use the telly, the low loader, to go pick stuff up. So yeah, off to the store. So I was going to leave it, but I knew it would bug me. I did think about coming back to it tomorrow in game, but as I just said, I have. Luckily, I did because I ploughed through the rest of April. I was really focused on getting to first cut. I don't know why. But, yeah. We'll just ignore the fact that I just backed through that hedge or dropped the big back handler. So yeah, spoiler alert, next video, first cut. And a bunch of animal work and stuff. You know. This video, basically planting corn. So, it was I really did enjoy using that big planting rig. It is exactly why I brought the 8RX. I think I said before when I was looking at buying it, when I was setting the save up, I was looking at the 8RX as our main tractor, or one of our main tractors, instead of the Zerion that we've got. Because I wanted to use this setup, but I thought it was too big as our main planting setup on the farm. But with having done this mega field, it makes perfect sense. So yeah, we actually got up to 52 hectares an hour. And this field is near, it's 31.5 hectares. I think that's well over 60 acres. I'm not sure on the conversion between hectares and acres. And those are farm sim hectares and acres, which are not quite the same as real world ones, I don't think. So yeah. Some nice animations there as well. There is a tiny strip right along the edge of the field that we didn't get, but I'm not going to worry about that. That's just the difference between we ploughed with a 9-meter plough and this is a 17.8 meter planter rather than 18, so there was always going to be a little bit. Right, up at the farm, we're going to use this to do the 2 fields we have on the farm that are going for corn as well. will make this much quicker, because one of them is reasonably big. We've got this field 61, 62 that we combined into one field. The other field is not massive, and this planter is not ideal for it, but we're going to give it a go. Probably means we can sell off we have 2 Lemkin planters in the shed that have never been used. They have been driven, they were driven to the farm, put in the shed and not touched, I think. Pretty sure that's the case, so probably we will sell those off at some point, because I don't think we need them. I think this is the way to go for our planting. Yes, it's big, yes, it's maybe overkill, but you know, I think our fields are borderline big enough for this, and maybe a 12 meter planter rather than an 18 meter planter, because we've got 2 6 meters. Because I was planning to do a lot more with course play on here, but as it is, I'm actually driving it myself, so you know, 2 6 meter planters would work well with course play. But we've planted ourselves, so we don't need it. This is one of the fields where we are going to need to apply some more fertilizer. You can see we've used a little bit already on the headland. There are a couple of patches that were got caught in other fertilizer applications with solid fertilizer. So for example, the grass field that's coming up on our right, when I fertilized that, I did it quickly with solid fertilizer, and we got a little bit of overspread, I guess. And so you can see there are some patches that are using up the liquid fertilizer. And that's why I wanted it, and because I thought it would look cool with the Exacta tanks, because I've not used those ever in Farm Sim. And it really does make the tractor look nice. I guess we probably can't get you know, effectively narrow tracks on this. I don't know. So we could use it as a sprayer tractor. Might be a bit excessive as a sprayer tractor. Especially given as we've got the little Greenlands 3-point sprayer, which does have the See and Spray technology, which is I think an upgrade we need to make on that, because that came out after we brought the kit, because we brought it all before precision farming existed. So we'll see, we might need to get that upgraded to See and Spray. Probably we'll use the T6 for that, the methane T6. This was also recorded before the 1.6 update, whereas the next video was done just after. The day after I applied the 1.6 update. We get quite a bit more manure, so I probably shouldn't have, but I still have the manure fix turned on, and I have the update. I think I can probably get rid of the manure fix. I don't know, it's quite nice with the cows producing a lot more manure, especially when you know, have a BGA on the farm and quite like BGAs. But you'll see what we do with that in the next video. But yeah, I'm curious as to whether I should keep the manure fix in or not. I'm interested to know what people are doing since the update who are using the manure fix. Have you kept it in? Have you turned it off? Comment below. So that's field 61, 62 done. We're now in field 55, the field which is a number I always forget. This was oats before, I think. And again, this has got some patches that we couldn't get with the solid fertilizer, or we might have done digestate in here. I can't remember. So yeah, you can see there are some patches where it's using up the liquid fert. Not a lot of it, and I'm not worried, because say we've got the oat, wheat and barley fields to do final fert on, and I'm going to do that with liquid again, probably with the T6, with the crop scanner on. Really wondering now if we can get road crop tracks on this. If you know, comment below, because having the Exacta tanks on would make up for the fact that we're going to have a crop scanner on the front. But yeah, let me know. I will have a play myself, but you know, all about that audience participation as well. Except I won't ask you what crops to plant, because we know what happens there, don't we, Kartek? How are the poplars doing? Yeah, so nearly done with this field, and that will be the end of the video once we've unloaded the spreader. Yeah, actually it's not been as bad as I thought maneuvering this around this field. I think the tractor is fairly maneuverable, so it has helped. And doing 2 headlands, which meant the up down rows were tiny, but it gave us plenty of room to turn around. So yeah, maybe we will buy one of these for next planting season. Not decided yet what we're going to do in the mega field next year. So it's going to be at least 2 years on here. We've got £9.25 million to recover still. So still a fair way to go. The mega field is going to help with that a lot, I think. And Maize Plus, when we get the cows going with Maize Plus, that should help as well. Okay, so that's all of the planting done for the year. Awesome. Get this folded up and unloaded, and I'm going to say thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you next time on Greenlands. And actually, thanks to the channel members. When I was editing, I had trouble putting in the overlay, and so yeah, channel members and patrons, thank you for your support. Catch you next time.